everyone.
And welcome back,
See if
everybody,
YouTube
to
sends me. Oh,
the Fandom Zone News. You rude bastard! You just destroyed my lead-in. Welcome
did.
back to the Fandom Zone News. Tonight we got some actual real deal news stories. Before we get started, I want to say shout out to Thomas Connolly. He came in here and just wished me a good live stream. He'll probably go back and review it. Shout out to you, Thomas. Thank you. Lemon Pie has been waiting in here. Like I got a
Lemon
legitimate,
pie.
real deal fan. Yeah. Lemon Pie, welcome. We have Jamie Vick. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. And Timon Flip.
What's up,
Hey
Jamie
yo.
Vick?
Hey,
Hey,
you told Jamie
Timon.
Vick last week that you didn't see him in a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Gary
Normally he's on
North.
Gary North. What up? Good to see you. And welcome everyone. Today, just so you know, today is not the goofiness you're normally used to, the late night talks. This is serious. Unless PB's dogs get loose. This is serious late night, or kind of mid-evening news, our news podcast, bringing you guys some news. And look, we're not here. Adorable dogs. Why don't I have a dog? See, I need a dog to throw up there.
Because you don't know how to take care of them.
Fact.
Felonious lies. Anyways, this is our real deal news show. We've got our serious news anchors. The puppy is our mascot. Hey, puppy. Adorable.
This puppy's 8 years old. Okay, go on.
You do realize I'm going to get like 100 more views off of that now.
Puppies and kittens. Next week it's going to be a kitten.
Oh, geez. We're really milking this.
And the week after that, it'll be naked women. Okay.
All right. Keep the misogyny down. You and your white privilege. Anyways,
Okay. Naked men.
welcome. Oh God. Okay. Welcome everybody to the show. It's good to have you guys back. Tonight we'll be talking about our favorite person, Nancy Pelosi, and some scandalous stuff going on there. And also,
Dude, when you gotta get your hair did, you gotta get your hair did.
and also, we will be talking about some more Kyle Rittenhouse news that's come up. And before we get started, for everyone watching, everyone who will be watching, my dad just broke some news for me. We're going to do a surprise stream tomorrow. It's going to be very interesting, real deal news that we just happened to find out. So,
and tell them who it's going to be on.
It is no, I don't want to give everything away. They got to tune in. It'll be tomorrow at 3. So okay. I'm not going to give any deets. I'm not going to tell you guys what it's going to be, but there's going to be a very surprising thing that I will put out at the last minute before we even launch it. I don't want no one to know about it. It's on the DL because we're going to be breaking this news before a major publication has the chance to break this. I don't want to give anyone a heads up. I don't want it leaking out. So you will have to tune in at 3 p.m. Central Time here in the Fandom Zone to find out what that news is. So, yeah, Timon, I am so sorry about that. He said his last dog lived to be 24. Yep, we all know dogs. Anyways, yeah, Gary, you're right. My memory is not great. You see this gray hair? Yeah, I'm getting old. A villain's getting old. Anyways, so welcome tonight.
He looks older than his father.
The first story we're going to cover tonight is actually going to be a short story. So we're going to do this one first. We're going to cover Trump. And I know anytime you mention Trump on a channel, you get a bunch of instant hate and a lot of clicks. So I'm leading in with Trump. So there's some news going on here. Apparently, there has been a rumor circulating. And Dad, I'm going to let you take this away. Tell us about this new thing that the press is running with in their Attack Donald Trump campaign that they'll be running from now until the election.
Okay. Well, Donald Trump does very well with the troops, and the troops really respect him. So a couple days ago, a story came out stating that when Trump was out in France, he made a remark that why should I go see those soldiers? They died in battle. And he also made some other remarks about dead soldiers, and they weren't nice remarks. And he wound up not going. He was originally scheduled to go to the cemetery there, and these were soldiers that were killed right around D-Day on the shores of in 1944 in France. So what happened is when this came out, Trump has been battling it ever since then, but everybody that's been with him that day says it's a lie. And there was one general that he let go, General Kelly, and General Kelly hasn't stuck up for him or said anything, but General Kelly was fired by him. And he has a lot of things, he has a lot of anger toward Trump. But like I said, even John Bolton, who wrote a horrible book about Trump, came forward and said, look, I was with Trump. None of this ever happened. And so, but anyway, and here's the problem that you're having with it right now. Commercials were made by the Democrats about this whole incident that happened before the story even came out. They're not talking about it. Yes. So these commercials were made sitting and ready to go. And yes. And yeah, what's that like?
I was saying that's very interesting because like here's the thing about rumors, especially in DC. They're very interesting because you can swing it either way, that there's some truth in it, there isn't, or there's the occasional rumor that has truth and lies. Those are the best ones because they can spin it any way they want to. But here's where I fall that this is total bullshit, and this is just my personal opinion, because of the fact that when you make commercials and ads, and we see this a lot during election time, we're probably going to hear a whole bunch of other rumors and lies from both. It could be both sides. We don't know what the truth is. But when you make ads and commercials that specifically target something that hasn't even been released yet, I got to question the validity of what you're claiming, because it's like you have info before it's even announced.
Finally, you're going to question something.
Yeah, I mean, PB, if someone makes a commercial, right, and they say their commercial is about something that hasn't happened, either they're psychic or they're full of
psycho.
Shit. They're psycho.
And the thing with these commercials, they made hundreds and hundreds of them, and they're putting them in states all across the country. And that's not to be discussed. No one's even bothered to check to see when these commercials were made. And a little twerp like me, I found out the information of when it was made. Once again, if people need links to this information, I'd be glad to put it on or give them to you, Lee, to put up. And also, The Atlantic is the name of the paper that came out. Well, not a paper, it's more of a magazine / toilet paper. But The Atlantic is basically, here's some of the quotes The Atlantic that came out to give you an idea what they think of Donald Trump. They said that Trump was planning on a plot to take over America. They called him a fat ass. They called him a fat ass golfer. This is all in their stuff. This is a red face sitting on a toilet taking a shit. Then Atlantic also wrote, America must vote Democratic regardless of their political views or beliefs. They have a gentleman working for them named Hasisi Coates, who advocated violence toward the police department 2 years before this has started, these riots. And then he also called the responders from 9/11. He said they weren't heroes, they were menaces. And they also, the media calls the Atlantic calls demonstrators are what they call pro-Trumpers, protesters, or what they call the left. So, it's obvious that this magazine is so one-sided. It's obvious these commercials were made. And when this first came out, I didn't know what to believe because Donald Trump gets a little crazy sometimes and says some crazy stuff. So you have to research it, and people can find this stuff out for themselves, just like anything else we do on this show. And I don't want to stick long on this story, but I just wanted to give these points out. And I just want everybody to remember these commercials were made before the story hit the airwaves.
I mean, this is amazing because, I mean, here on the channel, and welcome, Curtis, Thomas, I do agree it's propaganda. And I like to say more to this, too, that...
Did Curtis just show up late on my end, or are you psychic?
Yeah. I might be psychic. I might work for the Atlantic. This is the garbage nonsense that we talk about here on the channel on my on the Hollywood side of things, right? This is the same garbage I hear from like Entertainment Weekly and all those other rags that call themselves publications. And it really
you
pisses...
listen to Entertainment Weekly?
Nah, man. I just read it for the articles. Anyway, this is the nonsense that we hear constantly, right? It's this, and it's so sad because back in the day, newspapers used to not be about opinions. They used to just be about facts, okay? Look, to be a journalist, you shouldn't have your opinion in what you're writing. And from what I hear, these don't sound like quotes. These sound like opinions. Like saying stuff about people is not a fact. It's an opinion. If you're saying someone looks orange or they're the devil or they're a communist, that's not a fact about the person.
No, he
that's your
definitely
opinion
looks
of the person.
like a Cheeto.
I mean, you know,
He
Green
is the
Street.
orange
Who knows?
man. Oh, he knows he's the orange man.
But here's the thing, though. Most of what they write is no basis in fact whatsoever. Someone pointed out earlier, let me see if I can go back. It was Lemon Pie said, and the sources the Atlantic quoted, all unnamed. Unnamed. That's their go-to.
Yes.
Every time they quote a source, it's
all
unnamed.
Sources refused to come forward. And when they asked the reporter that wrote the story why the source wouldn't come forward, the source said they didn't want to come forward because they didn't want to be attacked in Twitter. That's what.
Oh my God! If me and PB, let me tell you something. If me and PB said we don't want to be attacked in Twitter, we would never be on, because we are attacked constantly every day for something we tweet. PB has been attacked by crazy Zack Snyder fans for like 3 months now. That's
Gotta
just
love 'em.
Twitter.
Well, you know, and that's the thing. That never in the history of news or has there been a such thing as unknown sources or people that don't want to come forward. Maybe during Watergate, but they nicknamed the gentleman that we eventually found out Deep Throat. They gave him a name. And you got to remember that Woodward and Bernstein, when they broke Watergate, they were very respectable, and it was a different era where reporters really reported the truth. Now there's not even reporters anymore. Now it's more like they're like a talk show host. There's very few media people out there anymore, and that's the shame about this story. And it's probably going to be around till the end of the election. And unfortunately, if this is a very close election, this could be their big thing. You know.
Well, I mean, they have to make up rumors and things like that, because I've said this for a couple of weeks now. Democrats, what's your platform? I still don't know what you're running on. I haven't heard a platform whatsoever these people are running on. Or is it environment? Is it, you know,
swans? It's swans.
Like, I don't know. I have no. Normally, every election they at least have they at least have a bullshit platform like we're gonna stop global warming or some nonsense like that. But
Well, none of them
this
can
year,
run. None of them can run because they're all 80 and they'll break their hips. Between Nancy and Biden, can you imagine them running? I mean, even though
Wait, they
Nancy,
can run?
yeah, I mean, I can't picture any of these old politicians, these old liberals, especially running.
They just run to the camera and ask for an apology because they were set up.
Yes, yes. We're going to be getting into that. Which,
yeah.
well, whenever
Great
you want to
segue.
jump to that story, Lee, I'm ready to go with it.
Yeah, so let me just set this up. If you guys notice my clever tagline for tonight, it's a day at the salon featuring our favoriteest person to talk about apparently on this channel because this is the second night in a row she's made the the reels, so to speak, or the highlight. Fucking Nancy Pelosi.
Well, you could have made a mistake on that and wrote a day at the saloon because Nancy's known to pop a few down. So saloon or salon is fine for Nancy.
Like,
Hey, man,
oh my God.
she's a victim. She is a victim.
Yes.
So let's talk. Dad, tell us about this story and how Nancy is being targeted by these
And here's the funny
right-wingers.
thing. I was just talking to Lee. Out of all the shows we've done so far, we keep getting better and better every week, more people watching. And our worst show was the last one we did on Nancy. And here we are again. We're hoping that this one on Nancy will, for some reason, help. But anyway, I have a feeling that picking Nancy tonight may not be the smartest move. Okay. Well,
What do you
Nancy.
mean? Everybody loves Nancy.
Yes.
She's the talk of the
that'd be-
town. Did you see that
that'd be a good
blowout?
meme. Yep, that'd be a
Fucking
good meme,
10.
sir. Well, okay. Nancy Pelosi. Right now, they're having and this is a very serious. You have a lot of Americans at home that are in bad financial trouble. You got a lot of Americans at home that have lost their jobs. They cannot work. They're having trouble collecting unemployment insurance, and everything. Part of the stimulus package that was helping ran out. The good thing is that the economy is starting to get dramatically better. And one reason that this story came out about Trump with the troops is because they know the economy is getting better because it can't get any worse because of everybody staying home. So what they're doing now, Nancy Pelosi, she's personally responsible for holding back a whole bunch of money because here's what she wants. She's been offered $1 trillion. And think about that, $1 trillion. We've already went through $3 trillion.
That's
Now
9 zeros.
So she wants to go through another $3 trillion. And so Steve Mnuchin, who works for Trump, has told her, no, we'll do $1 trillion. And we want that to go out to the people, $1,200 stimulus checks with $500 per child. And also, if you're a couple, you would get $2,500. That was the plan. And so Nancy Pelosi, all she has to do is say, okay, let's do a separate bill on the stimulus to people. Send everybody that got a $1,200 check to send them another one. That's all she has to do is say yes. Trump has already approved it. So she's here saying, oh, the Republicans won't give us this. And don't get me wrong, I don't trust the Republicans any much further than I trust the Democrats. They're all scumbags. So just so people understand that we're not here siding with one side or another. So pretty much she could end this and get the stimulus out. And right now, what's going down? They don't want a stimulus. She doesn't want a stimulus to go out before the election. Because last time a stimulus came out, Trump outsmarted her and sent letters with his letterhead on it and his name on the checks. So they were like, pretty much he outsmarted her. So she doesn't want that again. So
yeah, I know. I was just disappointed when I got my check. It says Donald Trump, but then it came from like Kansas City or Denver or some shit like that. So it was signed by some random lady. I thought I was going to get the president's signature on the check.
It was signed by Donna Trump, okay? And Donna Trump is a cousin. But anyway, so what's happened is that Nancy Pelosi kind of stepped in at this time, though. Nancy Pelosi is going to be remembered for one thing, and she's 80 years old, so pretty soon people will be remembering her because she won't be around. Hallelujah. And I don't wish that on anybody, but this woman is pure evil. So she showed up at a salon out in California, right down from her $3 million house. And she shows up at the salon, and the salon's closed down and they have booths outside. But ever since she's been going to this salon, she's been making the owner take her inside and do her hair inside. And she's been running around inside. So the owner was getting pissed, this woman that owns it. So what she did is she turned the camera on. And Nancy said, "Oh, I've been set up." And yes, you were set up good. This woman, a matter of fact, Trump said that she should come work for him, basically. But anyway, she went inside and turned it on. And she is a liberal, this woman. She's just fed up. And so then she released the tape to Fox TV. So Fox broke the story. And it showed Nancy Pelosi with her hair wet, running around inside, 80-year-old woman running around like a 20-year-old, leaping off stairs and everything. I never seen nothing like it. I mean, that woman is something when it comes to moving around. You know, you could say what you want about her, but damn, not many 80-year-old women move around like Nancy. So Nancy has no mask on.
She's got bionic parts on the inside. Her knees aren't 80
right next
years
to her
old.
bionic heart. So she comes, so this video is released. And so you have liberals attacking her because she's shutting down America and she's telling everybody to wear their mask and they're not going to salons, not to go into barbershops. She says it over and over again. And here she is on video, thousands of videos everywhere. She cannot deny it. So people figure the following day she's going to go on and she's going to apologize. That's what a normal person would do when they get their hand caught in the cookie jar. I had my hands caught in the cookie jars lots of times, and so has Lee, and I'm sure that PB has. So instead of apologizing,
no, man, I was set up. She only put the cookies in the cookie jar so that she could catch me in the cookie jar.
Can you shut that noise up on the bottom of the screen right there, please? Okay, so what happened is she comes out and apologizes for nothing. She apologized for being set up. So she said it was a setup, and she wanted an apology from the woman that set her up. She never said, "I'm sorry for what I was doing." She goes, "Oh, what am I supposed to do? Wear my mask when they're washing my hair?" And she said,
yes!
If someone's standing over you and they're breathing on top of you, you should have your mask on. So, and you got to remember, Nancy Pelosi, if you look at her mask, every one of them is a different color and every one of them looks like they cost $1,000. She wears designer masks. And so last month, what she did is she went on TV and she showed when everything started 2 months ago, when everything started with the virus, she was in Washington. She was at her home and she was on Steve Colbert. And what she did is she showed her ice cream freezer, and she had $2,000 worth of ice cream in each freezer. And she showed it and opened it up on the ear. And she was saying, "Oh, and here's my chocolate. I just got a new order of chocolate in." And she said this as everybody out there is starving, as everybody out there is losing their money. And she just doesn't care. And, you know, the good thing about Nancy Pelosi is this is what she's going to be remembered for, of being a fraud.
Yeah, and this is hilarious, too, because 11.5 makes a good point. She also should not have been able to even be inside the salon, period. Yeah, no. They've got these places closed down. I mean, over here we're starting to open up stuff, but it's ridiculous. Like the movie theater is open. I don't want to go to the movie theater because I don't want to sit in there for 2 hours with a freaking mask on while there's a bunch of people around me and it's all hot and congested in there.
Just
So
take the mask off, guy. It's dark.
And to give you an
no,
idea,
because that's the problem, PB. See, then I'll be caught and it'll be General Zod exposed without a mask.
and
So?
what happened though, what really makes this when she got caught, the easiest thing for her to do is say, you know what, I messed up, and she would have put an end to it. It was like when Bill Clinton got caught with Monica Lewinsky. All he had to do is say, yeah, okay, you caught me. I was getting
Yeah, but what
Yeah.
is the meaning of is?
You ask very tough questions.
It's not my question. It's Bubba's question.
Okay. Well, okay. So here you go right now with this woman, and the part that really bothers everybody right now is the $1,200 stimulus. At one time I was against this $1,200 stimulus, but then when I realized that it goes back into the economy and helps the economy, and it did the first time, it really helped the economy. It didn't hurt the economy. So this could easily be sent out, and I'm sure people listening to this show, and I'm sure that any of us right here, right about now, could use $1,200 check. And
I mean, it's
we pay
simple.
our taxes. We work hard. It's not like right. What's that, Lee?
It's simple economics. If you get money and you haven't had money, you're going to spend money, which in turn will put money back into the economy. That's like economics 101. I don't understand how people are against things like this, where people, especially people who have been stuck in their house and haven't been working, what are they going to do with a $12,000 check? They're going to go buy food. They're going to go buy stuff that they need. Maybe they need some clothes, things like that. And it's all going to go back.
A 60-inch screen TV, a nice computer.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't trying to get a PlayStation and Xbox. The money's still going back in there. That's my point. No matter what you choose to spend, the money, lemon pie. No, I'm not going to be watching Captain Marvel. God damn, why does everyone have to invoke that name?
You're watching Captain Marvel maskless because you didn't want to get drool all over your mask.
Hey, I only drool if Brie Larson's wearing that red dress.
Okay, we're not talking about that.
Black. It's black.
Okay, and here's the funniest thing. The day after she got caught, the salons partially opened up by the order of the governor of California. So Newsom opened it up because Nancy picked. This is a very powerful woman. Nancy picked up the phone and said, you know what? I got caught here. Can you do me a favor and open up the salons tomorrow? She thinks people are so stupid. They're going to go, oh, the salons are open? But people aren't stupid like that. They know what she did, and there's no turning back from it. And
I mean, even if you open the salons now, she did this when they weren't open. I hate to tell these people, they think like we don't live in a technological age. Everything is time-stamped, dated, when the stories came out. Just because you open the salons now, they don't go, oh, it must have already been open. No, that was when it was shut down. That was when these things were still closed. I mean, they treat people like they're so stupid. And for me, that's the most insulting thing, is the way that they choose to cover these things up. It's like they treat us like we're a bunch of drooling idiots or little kids. And we're going to be like, oh, yeah, Nancy was just at a salon that was already open. No, she wasn't. She was dancing around with no mask on at a salon that was partially open. That had a booth by it.
She's being compared to Marie Antoinette. They're calling her Nancy Antoinette. And we all remember what happened to Marie Antoinette. Eventually the people got sick of her, and they cut her head off. But unfortunately, Nancy's at the age where every day she wakes up, it's a blessing, and she says, hallelujah, it's another day on earth. She's 80. She's going to be 81. You know,
Oh
just think
yeah,
of,
but hell doesn't want her, so she's got a while on this earth.
well, we did a show on her family. She come, you know, like what you said, she came from a very powerful family. She had a brother that was charged with rape and got off. She has a son that's a slumlord in San Francisco. And this woman, she doesn't care. She floats to her own tune. And here's the scary part. Now, with these mail-ins coming in, they got the post office involved in the election. So now they're predicting that Trump on election night will win by a landslide. And then over the next few days, Biden will come back and take the lead and win. And then this will go to court. So if you look at our Constitution, it states that guess who becomes president if they can't decide who the president is?
I mean, I heard Mark Levin going through it, and I
The
know
Speaker of
the
the House.
easy answer is Nancy Pelosi
Yes.
because she's the speaker, but there's a more complicated answer that involves the representatives in the House voting for who the president would be.
Well, if they control the House at that time, they would vote for her. That's what she's, you know, it would go through the House, and the House would make that. And it's the House of Representatives that would make it, would decide on it, not the Senate. And that's the scary part. Can you imagine her grabbing that power?
Oh God, I
That's
might
a
really
big
have.
gavel.
Yeah. You know,
I would have to do what these Hollywood stars promised us to do but never did. I'd have to actually go to Canada or something. I'll deal with blackface Trudeau.
No, man.
over
That's
fucking
what I was
Nancy
getting
Pelosi.
so depressed about. When shit keeps hitting the fan, I looked around and I was like, I'm still in America, aren't I? Where else am I supposed to go that is better than America?
Did you see what happened?
That's the sad part.
Did you see what happened in Manhattan tonight?
No.
Okay, in Manhattan, protesters / really rioters were running all over Manhattan, and they were chasing all the diners they have outside seatings there. And this is on the news. It's all over YouTube right now. You can find it anywhere. They were chasing the diners away, making them leave the restaurants. And they were yelling at all the restaurants, we're closing you down. And then on top of that, these dumb bastards, they don't realize that the people they're closing down are the waiters and the waitresses, the people that are there that need to make money. They're not getting back at these rich people with these big fancy restaurants. These people that have these fancy restaurants, they have a lot of money. The people that eat at these fancy restaurants are mostly wealthy, but the busboy, the waiter, and the waitresses, they're just people there trying to make money. So you got these people that saying, you know, these protesters saying, oh, we're for the people, you know, we've had enough of this. And they're running into these restaurants. And I was watching these waiters tonight, and they were looking around, and you could see the disappointments in their face, you know, and people were literally scared daylights. They had these huge guys walking around making people get off their seats. There was one table with like 8, 9 women in it. And they were smiling when this group came in. And then all of a sudden the group yelling, you guys get out of here. They were grabbing their purses and they all ran out. So now we have them in New York City making restaurants close down. You know, I like to see them go down to Arthur Avenue in the Bronx and do that, where there's a bunch of Italian.
They'd be shot. That'd be a very short. That'd be a very short demonstration.
We're picking out a bunch of rich people, you know, sitting at these. Well, they think they are, but these poor people that are working and need every penny they can make. You know, you may have had some mother there that needed that extra money for her child tonight, and she's just been chased out of her job. You know, and you know, it's a Saturday night. It's the second busiest night in the restaurant industry. So these people expect it Friday, Saturday to make their money. And they're not making any money tonight. And these rioters, I'm tired of calling them protesters. They're not protesters. When you start chasing people out of restaurants, you're a rioter. And the mayor, to think that the mayor, de Blasio, is allowing this, and Como, who could fire de Blasio because he's the governor, refuses to do so. I mean, it's a shame what's going on there. They're letting these cities just go to hell. You know, we're losing our cities.
That's the thing that I find most amazing about this is the inability, or maybe even that they just don't want to because it's part of the plan. In the words of the Dark Knight, you know, it's all part of the plan, that they are purposely, I mean, if it's just them sitting back and not doing anything, then they're cowards. And if it is them knowingly not doing anything, then that's worse, because they are purposely allowing people to be hurt and injured to try to hurt somebody else. And by somebody else, I mean the presidency and the government. Their morbid, twisted view is that they're going to hurt everyone else around them to try to get one person. It's become quite scary and ridiculous, the lengths.
Cheetos are bulletproof.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous the lengths that these people are going to. And, you know, the irony is this whole protest is supposed to be about the people, right? It's supposed to be about the people, the you know, the minority and the people who are being held down by the man.
The minority? Right?
What the minority, yes.
These rioters tonight? These rioters in New York? I only seen a couple black people in these riots in New York tonight, and most of them were young whites doing this. You know, and that's the most pathetic thing, because all these young whites doing this, they all can go home to mommy and daddy when the riots are over. It's like a game to them. That's all it is. They're pissed at their mother and father. They're pissed because they live in a little room in the Hamptons and it's not nice enough. Our mommy cut off their credit card, so now they're going out to riot. You know,
or more accurately, they're being brainwashed by this system into thinking that, yeah, I'm doing my part.
No, she didn't get her brain washed. She got her hair washed and blown out.
Yeah, I mean, this is just...
Oh, you weren't talking about Nancy. You're talking about all the young, stupid fuckers out there, like my niece and nephew, that think socialism is something that can actually work.
Yeah, and the most amazing thing, all you got to do is look at Venezuela, which is the perfect example of what socialism does. Venezuela was one of the 20 years ago. Venezuela was like a haven of beauty. It was gorgeous. They sold more gas than any country in the world. I mean, more oil than any country in the world. Now there's no food there. They're eating the dogs, and they ate all the animals that lived in the zoo. So that's socialism.
Yeah, the Maduro diet. Get you real skinny.
Yeah.
Like, this is the amazing thing. And this is the thing that really baffles me about the younger generation, is that they do throw out these crazy ideas. And it's like, are you guys looking at history? We've had socialists. Hitler, the Communist Party, anybody? Any of this ringing a bell? Like, we've tried these other systems. You want to know why we have a democracy? Because the other shit doesn't work.
We don't. Whoa. We ain't got a democracy. We have a representative republic.
Oh, he shot you, right?
Well, excuse me, fancy pants.
I got into an argument about that with my freaking nephew, too.
I go by what the founding
electoral
fathers
college. I was like, don't be a fucking idiot.
The founding fathers called this a democracy.
Okay, let's move on to the next story. Kyle.
How's Kyle doing? There's been a lot of interesting things that have come out.
Here's the main thing with Kyle. It's kind of sad. So now, you know, the left media, they're taking up all these sides of all the bad things happening. And one of the bad things is the riots here, the way they're sticking up for everything going on. The guy that was shot by the cops in Kenosha, was in the middle of that night. He was in a house raping a girl, not a girl, a woman. The rumor was a girl. That was what the warrant was out for. He went back to this house and he was told not to be in this house. And he was ordered not to be in the house. And he went in there. He ignored it. He threatened the people in the house and took the keys and went out and was getting in the car that he was not supposed to get into. And the media says, oh, his 3 kids were in the back seat. No, the 3 kids were in the back seat because the mother of the 3 kids put them in the back seat and they were leaving and going somewhere else. They weren't there because daddy put them there. Okay. And I don't know. I don't have no opinions on that way that was handled, but it's nothing like the media is saying. That's pretty much it on that. And the whole thing with Kyle. Now, Kyle, we all know that we had a show with Kyle, and it was our best show. We got really good ratings on it. And Kyle, if you watch any type of films, it shows from the beginning to the end that Kyle, the first guy he shot was a child molester, and he had charges for child molestation, and he had a long criminal record, and the guy was throwing things at him. Kyle shot him, killed him. And then after he killed him, he was on the phone. Originally, I stated last week that he was talking to, he was calling the cops, but no, he wasn't. So I'll correct that right now. He was calling his friend who was there to tell him, look, I just shot somebody. And as he was doing that, they yelled, there he is, and they chased after him. And so when they chased after him, the guy with the skateboard hit him in the back of the head, and it knocked Kyle to the ground. And the guy that hit him in the back of the head had several charges. And one of the charges he had, he was with his girlfriend. He choked her and until she was unconscious. Then he let go of her neck and choked her again. And he had several charges. If you go to CCAP and put his name in, you can see all the wonderful charges this guy had. His name is like 20 charges. And then there's a third guy. The guy with the skateboard got shot in the stomach after he hit Kyle in the head. And he killed him. And then the third guy that went after him flew in from Seattle to come to Kenosha. See, this is all coming out now. So he wasn't even from the area. He was part of the Communist Party, Marxist. He was a member of that party. And so he got on a plane and flew here. When he flew on the plane, he had no gun. When he got here, he got a gun. And that gun was pointed at Kyle. And the problem was that the big tough guy from Seattle didn't have the balls to pull the trigger of the gun. And Kyle did have the balls to pull the trigger of his gun, and he blew this guy's elbow off. The elbow's gone. Guy is not going to be picking his nose anytime soon. And so, I'm sorry, what's that like?
There was something I wanted to address before we got going, because I got tons of comments on my comment section. And if you guys are peeking in, or if you troll to see what else that I do, I just want to say thank you for your comments, because whether they're stupid or not, I'll read them and I'll answer them back. But anyways,
You'll read them? In the That's a fucking joke.
I'll read them slowly, PB. Jesus Christ.
That's
anyways,
probably true.
I answered a couple of them.
You know it's true. Here's my point. Is there any truth? There's been some things coming out that says that there's a video surfacing with Kyle apparently hitting a girl or something.
No truth.
Oh no.
No. His lawyer said that it's no, his lawyer said prove it. His lawyer said okay, prove it.
Because
and then, even if there was a tape, what does that have to do with this shooting?
That's my point exactly. Like, I've had people come on my comments and bring up these random things. And I'm like, okay, cool, interesting. Maybe you're referencing this to why are we holding up Kyle on this pedestal?
You can't say, okay, cool, interesting, to he beat a woman.
Anyways,
Kyle's problem was he didn't have a woman. Kyle was in school. Kyle's mother had to take charges, had to take an order of protection out on the students at school because Kyle was being bullied
I mean,
through high school. So Kyle, that's why Kyle dropped out of school, because when he was going to school, he was being bullied in a very, very liberal school district. And I'm sorry.
but here's my point to this. Like you
God,
said,
I'm gonna make another point.
even if people are bringing up all of this stuff that supposedly happened that I'm fairly sure did not, that has nothing to do with the issue that we're talking about.
Here's the one thing. Here's what they're going to say to you, Lee. They're going to say to you, well, if that's the case, then these guys that came here, their past had nothing to do with them getting shot. If nothing.
Oh, absolutely did, because they had violent criminal offenses that they acted out in person that was caught by multiple people and witnesses and on camera. There is a difference, because you can correlate their past to the present. They had violent records and they acted out those violent, nasty tendencies to someone else who was just there trying to help people. That is the difference. What happened with Kyle was pure self-defense. Nothing these people are saying.
He should be out of jail. He should be out of jail right now. He's being held in a juvenile detention center because he's 17.
Fuck.
But in the reality, he should be out of jail right now for the simple fact that he is proven already that it was self-defense. And if any judge, the judge is going to say at a bail hearing, a judge is going to say to the lawyer, can you prove to me that this was self-defense? And he's going to take these tapes, give them to the judge. The judge is going to go in his chambers and take a look at them and then make a decision based on what he sees here. But you have the media. They keep now everybody in the media, even Fox, all those, they're referring to him as the white supremacist shooter. He has no idea.
He got way too much hair to be a white supremacist.
Yeah.
And the most amazing thing is he never has no inkling of being, there's no evidence anywhere of him being a white supremacist. And then what happened 3 days later in Portland, you had a guy in Portland that executed a Trump supporter. Executed him. They showed him. Let me finish. They showed him on video. They showed this guy on video waiting in the garage for these two Trump supporters who were walking down the street. He came out of the garage and executed one of these guys for no reason. And then 3 days later, the FBI cornered this guy and killed him in a gunfight. But the media calls this guy that he shot, this innocent man who has no record and that he murdered, they're calling him part of the right. And he was a Trump supporter. And he had no record. He was a hard worker. Everybody liked him. There was nothing on him at all. And so they're attacking Kyle, but this man who committed a brutal murder in Portland, they're saying, they're not even talking about it. They're literally staying away from the story because they know.
So how long until the paperwork comes out that this guy was a registered Democrat?
Oh, he is? No. He had Antifa tattooed on his neck.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But he's part of the right.
Yeah. The guy that did the killing and he told Antifa that I'm a warrior for you. I'm an Antifa warrior. And he was an ex-military too. So
this is the guy we need to keep on the streets right here. That's the guy we need running around randomly killing people. And here's the thing with that story is he in jail? Is this guy in jail for executing people? Yeah. No,
FBI,
he's dead.
FBI killed him. They hunted him down and killed him. Yes.
Well, They probably did because my goodness, they wouldn't put him in jail. They probably give him a freaking medal over there on the left. It's quite
And it was
disturbing.
brutal, and it was brutal murder, barely talked about. When he was caught, Fox mentioned about him being caught. The other two stations didn't even talk a little bit about it. They acted like this guy in Portland, this murderer in Portland. Oh, and here's another thing that happened with Kyle. Facebook will not let anything that has to do with Kyle be put up anymore.
Yep, I heard about that actually.
Facebook has registered Kyle as a spree killer, as a mass killer. They are calling him.
So what if you spell his last name with a W?
Huh?
What's that?
What if I spell his last name with a W?
Yeah. Well, I just put them on. If they're going to take them off, people are just going to put that stuff on and they're going to take it off. So, can you imagine that though? That the Times came out with a story stating that it was pure self-defense, and the Times is way leaning to the left. And I got to give them a lot of credit because the Times paper, they investigated the whole thing. They proved and showed that Kyle was being shot at the gas station. When they attacked him, the whole thing started. Someone was shooting at Kyle. So he was literally running for his life. So a spree killer or a mass killer, they walk into a place and just start shooting. He did not.
I mean, what was the guy in DC? What was the guy in DC? The guy in DC, the Greenville killer or something, the sniper guy. He was sniping people on benches and stuff. That's a spree killer.
Yeah, he got executed.
Anyone who takes aim and mass kills people, that's a spree killer. Someone defending themselves against a controlled group. This is a controlled situation because yes, he killed 3 people or he killed some people, but they were
2 people
in a little group and they were attacking him. It wasn't like he shot into the entire crowd, which things like this piss me off because
he hit the people that were attacking him. He didn't hit nobody innocent. The people that are attacking him and said once he shot. Kyle was a hex. Now here's another thing you're going to hear about Kyle that we didn't hear. Kyle's mother was also there, and she was also locked and loaded.
Wow.
She bought Kyle there. And when Kyle left that night, the police let him go, and he got in the mother's car, and the mother drove him home and got him ready and took him into the police station to turn himself in the following morning. So the mother is also part of the group that was there. But the group that was there went with no violence in mind. None. They went there to protect the city and to help the police and to help people. There's no evidence that they were there for any other reason. I seen one of the quotes to you, Lee. Someone said to Lee, "You must be stupid." Did you see that quote, Lee?
Oh yeah. You saw my response.
And I said either that's one of his relatives or it's a liberal. But anyway, this is how they attack you. You're stupid. It's like if you come to me and you show me where I'm wrong, I'll give you an example. Someone told me that Dr. Fauci went to school with somebody else that was involved with this whole virus thing. And I investigated and found out it was a lie. So what you should do is investigate things and find out whether they're truth. Don't just write them down. And if you're going to call somebody a liar, tell them why they're a liar. Don't even call them a liar. Say, this is why you're wrong. This is the point. This is the fact of what's going on. Show evidence.
Here's the thing about YouTube is everybody says you're stupid when you lay out facts and they don't have anything they can really argue with because you present your facts, you present your case, you present your evidence, and they can't really refute it, so they say you're stupid. And look, here's the thing. As I said, you must have been on the channel before because if you watch my late night show, sure, I do act a little bit stupid on there. But, a couple of drinks in, We all get a little bit crazy. Or at least I do.
Nobody
Everybody
gets
else
as
is out of it.
crazy as you. Not everybody has raccoon sources.
I mean, here's the thing.
Or people that live in Wisconsin and wear cowboy hats.
Yippee-ki-yay. And, here's the thing. Everyone who will watch, and all you fucking trolls who are sitting there, they're gonna come on here and call me an idiot or whatever else. Good, go ahead. You know what? You're watching this, so thank you for the click. Thank you for looking at the video, and thank you for taking time out of your schedule to comment. I appreciate it. And as a matter of fact, I've got like 200 videos. I'm sure I'll piss you off in another one, so go look through my playlist because I appreciate the attention. I don't care what people think about what we're saying here
but
tonight.
People don't want to know about Yoki Man. Is it Yoki Man? Is it Yoki Man? I noticed one of your videos was on Yoki Man.
Oh, yeah. That was a bit of a joke, but I mean, this is what I do on the channel. But this here is serious stuff. If you want to give me a good argument, I'm cool with that. You want to state your opinion or you find out something interesting, I will look into that. But if you're just going to call me stupid,
I'm waiting for you to give me a good argument.
I will when we do our debate. But anyways, this is my point here, that like we're not bringing to you guys just stuff we're pulling from the sky. This is stuff you all can look up. You all can see for yourself. Choose to believe me or don't choose to believe me. Personally, I don't really give a damn. My life will go on. You insulting me is the least I will be called in a day. I've been called far worse, so hit me with your best shot.
I mean, you say your life will go on. That is not what Kal-El said.
Yeah, when he snapped my neck. Anyways, the point being is that, I appreciate everyone's comments tonight. I appreciate getting comments. But my whole thing is, if you guys want to debate me or you guys want a intelligent response, then throw something out there. If you disagree with what we're saying, don't just say we're idiots. Put your reasons. Put down some logic behind it. Tell me why you disagree with what we're saying here, and I will tell you why you're wrong. Or right. Who knows? But more than likely, from the comment I got from this other person, Jesus Christ. I mean, look, facts are facts. This stuff is on camera. This stuff has been shot. These is eyewitness accounts. The story is out there. This is not stuff that is just being made up just for the sake of being made up. Okay, this is backed up by.
You can see the video of Nancy Pelosi walking through the beauty salon.
I mean, that's hard to believe unless you see it. Jumping up and down and running around.
You said that the wrong way. You meant to say you can see the video of the beauty walking through the salon.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You want to hear something? This woman that owns the salon and her hand this video in, she said ever since that she did this, she's been getting hundreds of death threats. That's what the left's good at, giving you death threats.
That's what they're great at. Yeah, they're not tea partiers.
She had to shut down all her social pages because of all the death threats she's received. She's received death threats at her house. And this is a single mother of 2 daughters. And
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because this is what they do. This is, forget just this particular situation in general. This is what debates or discussions have devolved into, is that people don't talk anymore. They just attack. If someone thinks that your view is wrong, no matter how much facts you have, no matter how much video evidence, no matter if you have a confession, if someone is crazy on the left following, if someone is crazy,
I'll give you an example. There was a video put out online of Nancy Pelosi slurring her speech, and she looked very drunk. So the guy finally came out and admitted that he put this video out where he slowed it down and he messed with the video and he made her look drunk even though she wasn't. So this video got 3-4 million hits. So after this was found out, this guy has said that the worst thing he ever did was joking around putting that video out because his life got destroyed, and that every day he gets hundreds of death threats to this day. And this has been, Lee, can you stay straight? And so he's been getting hundreds of death threats. And this has been over almost 2 years ago that he put this video out, and it still hasn't stopped. So, but he was proven to be a fraud, and he paid the price for it. And that's what we have to do is if someone's lying, whether they're from the right or the left, they're lying. It doesn't matter which side they're on. You cannot back a liar. But it seems like the left, they will lie, they will hurt you, they will do so many horrible, wicked things that it's scary.
Yeah,
look what they're doing in the cities tonight. They're chasing people out of restaurants. That was their new. They must have put out a plan. They must have told Antifa must have went around the country and Black Lives Matter and said, here's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to go in restaurants and chase people out of the restaurants wherever we are, because they're doing it in more than one city. So it's obvious that this is very organized, you know, and what they need to do is they need to get to the bottom of this, find out who's organizing this, arrest them. Maybe not even arrest them, take them out.
I mean, this is only going to get worse. And here's the thing we've been talking about and, you know, bringing out to people, you know, we're at a very interesting and very dangerous point in our history. I mean, our history, in the history of this country, we are at a point where debating and we're trying to talk it out isn't working anymore, because there is one side that doesn't want to talk. They don't want to sit down and hash things out. They want to be mean. They want to be vile. They want to put out lies and be vindictive. And, you know, there comes a point where people have to stand up for themselves, and we have to say enough is enough. I mean, they aren't attacking businesses that are attached to any government or organization. They are attacking people's livelihoods. We have to stand up for people, and people have to stand up for themselves, or this nonsense, this garbage is going to continue to go on until someone has had enough of it. I mean, we've got to take some drastic actions.
It's already happening. They're having, all over the country, they're having things going on right now.
Yeah, and I mean, we have to put a stop to it, because it's just getting ridiculous.
Okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to bed.
I know. I just received a sandwich that I am ready to eat from the beautiful girl. That's why I went off camera, in case you guys were wondering. I don't want you to see me.
Nobody was
a delicious
wondering.
Sandwich.
Everybody
was wondering. Anyways,
we figured you just fucked up and actually, you know, you just fell off the camera for some reason.
But no, I haven't had that many drinks tonight. Maybe later.
You have a mobile studio.
Well, whenever we talk about Nancy, I have to drink something just to get into that mindset to kind of think about what a crazy person thinks about, because I feel like she's drunk.
I mean, she's great.
I would like America to think about, what does Nancy Pelosi look like with no makeup on, naked in the morning?
Oh, gosh. We're going to lose like everyone on this channel. Thank you. You've just killed my channel.
Wow.
Yes. Hey, PB, I want PB. I want
like a libido crusher.
Oh. Oh, okay. Now that everything has died, even my soul, from that comment. Thank you.
You ever see What About Mary?
Yeah.
Something about
when
Mary?
She's up when the old lady's up in the window, her roommate.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Remember that part, PB? Lee doesn't remember that part. He never seen the movie probably. But
Something About Mary? I have seen that. With the Frank and
she's
Beans.
standing in the window? That's Nancy Pelosi.
Oh. Okay.
You realize this
I mean,
woman,
you know, I've
getting out
seen
of
that movie
hand.
a whole bunch. It's
you know,
got Brett
you can go back
Favre.
if you take up 30 years ago, if you look at Nancy Pelosi 30 years ago, she looks younger now than she looked then. She doesn't even look like the same person.
Terrifying.
Yeah, you know, but you know
Oh,
what?
so she's one of those Democrat vampires.
Yes. And you know, and you know, the most amazing thing though with her, you know, we can all get these facelifts and do whatever we want, but it still doesn't stop time. It really doesn't, because when it's your time to go, you can be missing a couple of wrinkles. Like look at Joe Biden. Joe Biden doesn't even look
Oh
like the
man,
same
she's gonna get
person.
one of them frickin' pig hearts or something.
Oh, yeah. And then on top of that, I would ask the liberals this question, these violent people. You're always talking about rights and which side has all the perverts? Who has Weinstein? You know, you can go on and on. Poor Kevin Spacey. I mean,
No,
you
my
got
perfect example of this is our president on the right talks about grabbing women in the pussy, and the president on the left, Bill Clinton, actually does it.
yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's
Yeah,
facts.
yeah. The one on the right talks about what every man talks about. The one on the left does what every man wishes they can do, but they can't. You know,
Yeah, we're not cavemen anymore, Bill.
Bill can't move anymore. Yeah, we got to do a show about Bill
Disbarred
sometime.
Bill.
Yeah, we got to do a
God,
show.
that show about Bill with that show. If we do a show about Bill, we would need more than an hour because that guy lends himself to like a whole 60-minute special.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it'd be like 120 minutes. Like,
I'm
Jesus
checking
Christ.
out now. I got to. It's past my bedtime. I'm an old
All
guy.
right.
Go to bed.
All
My
right.
drugs are
See you
wearing
later.
off. Okay, you guys take care, and I'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Yep. See
I'll
ya.
talk to you nightly. Okay, bye.
So,
Interesting.
anyways,
His drugs are wearing off. I need my drugs to wear on to go to bed.
yeah. Speaking of which, I got to start drinking some more because I'm still behind the 8 ball, so to speak.
You took an
Anyways,
8 ball too? You didn't send any up here, you bastard.
sorry, it was inconsiderate. I will send you some the next time I partake.
Like,
But anyways,
everybody loves the way cocaine smells, don't they?
anyways, thank you everybody for showing up tonight. You know, and I hope you guys got something out of this. If you like this, hit the like button. If you're new
Oh,
and you
share
like
it.
the
If you
content,
like it, share it. And then if you didn't like it, share it and tell everybody why you didn't like it. And then if you didn't like it or you didn't dislike it, share it. Because sharing is caring.
exactly. And as always, we will see you next Saturday for another great show. Thank you, everybody. You're beautiful, amazing people. Have a great night.